Okay, we're in the house, family black again. We about to drop it hard for your family gods, kings, and sacred stone. Did the Olmec Egyptians and Ethiopians share an ancient connection? Make sure y'all click that link at the top of the chat. Get over to Patreon, get that work. Let's jump right back into it. Let's not hold up. And so showing you how, both the Egyptian and the Olmecan, sarcophaguses had these stone knobs, on the sides of not just the sarcophagus, but even some of the stones they put into on the pyramids. And it's believed that they probably used them for, just almost like leveling, where they, what up, though, where they are lowering, almost like a crane type of situation, putting ropes on the end of them, very well, pulling them or whatever. But, it's still up for debate, what these knobs are. Okay. And so when we get to talking about the pyramids of Egypt, you talking about exquisite. You talking about they use all types of stone, all types of stone. So they have mastered almost every stone in the ground, you know. And you looking here, you talking about, and do you know how many sarcophaguses have been found? You talking about, man, you go into some of these museums, and man, they got hundreds and hundreds of sarcophaguses in these damn these museums. And so they probably found thousands and thousands of these sarcophaguses in ancient Egypt. So it's most definitely, and it's crazy. They got some that weigh up to almost 100 tons, where they buried the bulls and the apis bull down in these sarcophaguses. But a lot of people don't know, and I first heard it from Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. That the pyramid of Khufu, the Great Pyramid of Egypt, has the same base, base perimeter as Teotihuacan right here, the Pyramid of the Sun. Now that's crazy. If you look at the base of Khufu and you go all the way to the top, the Great Pyramid, the base perimeter is 3,023.16 feet. And you go to the Pyramid of the Sun right here in the Americas, and you see that the base perimeter is 2,932.8 feet. Okay, almost exact. Almost exact. You talking about a couple of, you talking about a couple of feet here and there. Okay, you talking about a couple of feet here and there, but it's almost exact in its measurement, almost virtually identical. Okay, in the base perimeter. And so, how many coincidences is you gonna find before you come to realize that these great civilizations had contact, that that Egypt, Kush was uh the university of the ancient world. A lot of people don't believe that the Egyptians could come across or the Kushites could come across. And so when you learn all of these currents that's out there in the ocean, okay, all these currents out there in the ocean. The main one is the North Equatorial Current. Okay, coming in, going from Africa to the Americas, from the Americas back to Africa. Okay, and so it don't make no. It's like a river in the ocean, and it'll bring you straight on over. Okay, it'll bring you straight on over. You don't even need a goddamn paddle for most. If you get off into the current, it's gonna bring your ass. You're gonna end up in the Yucatan. You're gonna end up. It's gonna bring you right up into the Gulf of Mexico. You see, and so these are facts. And so Thor Heyerdahl, European, with the Ra expeditions, he had he had this, you know, theory, this, and wanted to prove that the Egyptians could sail to the Americas. Because sometimes you have a hypothesis that you got to prove. Okay, and so based on the reed boats that the Africans was using, not just the Egyptian, they were using the reed boat all the way up and down the Nile. Okay, so he designed. Hold on, fam. Yeah, we black. So you see, he had an hypothesis. Now he had two ships. He had two attempts to do this shit. You feel me? And the first attempt he didn't make it. The first attempt he did not make it. He almost made it. Now it ain't like he broke down. He was damn near there. He was damn near 2/3 of the way, and that was the Ra expedition one, which you see right there, the X. You see, the boat started taking water, and so that's as far as it made it. But see, them white boys put that boat together. They had no business doing that. And so the second time, they had some brothers from Chad, put the boat together. Okay, he went and got them brothers to go to work. Matter of fact, where is it at? Here it is, right here. They out there building it outside the pyramid. Okay, so this is an ancient design. And matter of fact, this is it right here. This the one that made it. I think it's in a museum. I think it's over there where he from. I don't know if it's Norway, one of them Scandinavian countries. And so, that's the Ra Expedition 2. And so, but the Ra Expedition 1, the one that they put together, that motherfucker didn't make it. It went to taking all kind of water and everything. But that second one, this one right here, it made it across. Now, what's crazy about that? Me, I'm studying and I realized this, and I hadn't seen nobody that showed me this. I come into, when I was doing my research, I saw it for myself. I started looking, I was studying the megaliths over in Peru, and I seen these motherfuckers riding on this damn boat. I say, wait a minute. Now, that motherfucker is in Peru. He's in Peru. And so the question becomes, how in the hell did this boat get over here in the damn Americas? And they swear to God, they've been riding on it for so long. They act like but here it is. You see, this is the same exact design that the ancient Egyptians been using, man. The Egyptians got boats that go back to damn the first damn dynasty. You see, the first damn dynasty, they got, they got boats, and as a matter of fact, they got the oldest images of boats than anybody on the planet. Okay, and they so connected to the water, and then even the gods is on up in the heavens, floating on ships and arcs and things of this nature. And so, they were very advanced with, their maritime skills and engineering and, navigation. They were very masterful in that. And so they got so many different type of ships down through the, they ain't just have one kind of ship because what he says, they got wooden ships. They got wooden ships too. So they developed out, but the average cat would sell on a reed boat. He's gonna sell on a reed boat. That's how they do, but the African, they had to keep evolving, and they developed up into where they got, this right here is a barge. This one right here, wait a minute. Where, they was carrying very large megalithic stones. You see what I'm saying? You talking about 7, 8, 800 tons. And so this ain't just no damn, this is a damn barge, and so if the other one could take to the ocean, why wouldn't you believe this one could take to the ocean? So there. Yeah, well, you can't. I understand what you're talking about, but again, you had to take the chronology with a grain of salt. Everybody knows that that there's a European operation to shorten African civilization by thousands of years. This is necessary. This is necessary to shrink civilization by thousands of years. But even if you take the dates around the time that the Olmec was doing their thing was right around the same time of the new kingdom, the 18th dynasty. And so, any which way it go, it's still in unison, no matter what. It's still in unison. Because you're gonna have to explain how they were able to carve such heavy stones, and the only people on the planet that was carving stones like that was in the Nile Valley and over in India, areas like that. And so let me see, let me jump down here. I understand, and you had to take the chronology with a grain of salt. That's just all it is to it. It's not exact, it's not exact. Like if you study a lot of them early Egyptologists, they had a chronology that went some of them went back 7,000 for the beginning of dynastic Egypt. You had, they was all over the place. But you had some that went back 7, 8,000 years. You had some that 6, some 5, and some 4, and they just split it in the middle. They kind of, they kind of went with the 3,000. That's what they chose to do. But damn well you can't trust no European. Shit, we know that. These right here is a lot of showing you that the Olmecs, the most of they more profound cities was right there on that Gulf region. Right there on that Gulf region, but they was expanded all over. So where you looking at here is cities all throughout Mexico that was influenced by the Olmec. And so that's very critical that you see them not only on the Atlantic, but also on the Pacific. And that's going to show you the connection with Peru and all the megalithic structures down there. You know what I'm saying? Because there is an Olmec presence down there that they do not want to accept. But it don't make no difference whether they want to accept it or not. It's a fact. It's a fact. And when you start studying a lot of these civilizations. Let me see if this one right here. You can see right there them mountains and just like the Nile coming up out of them, at the heart in the interior of Africa and selling down up out of the highlands. So they the Olmecs went into the mountains, Tuxla mountains, and got the granite, to carve them Olmec heads and sell them down a lot, using the same technology that they used in the Nile. This is a fact. It's a fact. Even the way they put their damn codex together. Man, listen here. Man, listen to me when I tell you when I was listening to Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, he blew my mind when he talked about how the codexes that they make they paper with strips, just like the Egyptian, how they lay them papyrus strips, and then they go diagonal, and then they go horizontal, right? And then they beat it and let it dry. They use the same technology to make their paper over here. It's crazy. Even though they didn't use papyrus, they used a pulp out of the bark of a tree and took it and beat it and laid it in strips, horizontal and diagonal, just like the ancient Egyptians. I mean, what we gonna do about this? Gonna plan in line to ourselves, is we gonna keep lying to ourselves, or we gonna be reasonable? We got to be reasonable now. Got to be reasonable. Let me bring this back up. So you see, and before I tap out of this particular one, I want y'all to understand something, man. It's this tropical zone is where all the great civilizations is located. When you start getting on the, you talking about Egypt. Now, when you talk about the tropical zone, you're talking about 23.5 degrees north, 23.5 degrees south. That's the tropical zone, with the equator being dead middle. This is where all life began, period. This is where all life began. And, even our hair, that UV, see, the UV hit strongest on that equator. So when you talk about the curly hair that's on our head, you see, it's that high UV near the equator that is responsible for our having the curly hair that we do. It helps to cool the energy off, cool the energy down, the heat, the UV energy down before it hit, our skull, because shit, you'll fuck around and, that's why them, Europeans be over there passing out. You see what I'm saying? They ain't built for that over there. Okay, so when you start talking about even Mexico, you can see right there, Black Power. You can see in Mexico, the Olmec, you see, which is in the tropical zone. Even the other great civilization, the Inca down there in Peru, is in the tropical zone. Then you come over, you got Mali, Songhai, Ghana, Benin, the Nak, you got Lower Egypt, the part down there, Aswan is in the tropical zone, Nubia, Kerma, Merowe, Napata, you got Ethiopia, Aksum, you see all the great civilization, Aksum, you got great Zimbabwe, then you got the Congo, then you come across you got, even though Sumeria is not there, it's not up there in the tropical zone, But then you see, as you move from the tropical zone, those civilizations closest to Africa and to these areas became the next layer of civilizations. You see Greece and Rome and Sumeria, but then you got southern India also in the tropical zone. You got Angkor Wat, you got Champa, you got Bagan, if you're familiar with Bagan, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk. Hey Ray, you in the house? I'm glad you showed up, good brother. I'm just about to end this particular one, and then I'm about to come right back. You know, I chop it up like that. I don't want too much sitting on one video. So y'all get ready to come back and build with the general, man. And we about to turn up this evening. I know it's about that time. So come on back, family. Make sure y'all click that link at the top of the chat and get over there to Patreon. Black Power.